Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is the YouTube hop for a Cherry on Top's design team. This is the month of November and the theme is animals. So you will have tons of inspiration. I'll leave everyone linked down below who you will follow along to see other animal themed projects. And for me, I am taking that prompt very literal. So available at a Cherry on Top is a new line from Simon Hurley. I don't know what the whole line is called, like the whole collection. I'm just calling it the animal print line. I will leave it linked down below as well. So it includes it's called Wild About You stamp set, and it has animal stamps on there, and they're layered ones. So you have the colored one and then the detailed overlay to make each animal pop out. I did already play with it, as you can see, because the stamps are colored a little bit from the dyes I used. And then it also came with a series of stencils. So this one is called Animal Print and it has the giraffe and the tiger stripes or zebra stripes. There's the leopard print one, which is a double layered stencil, and then the Geo Leaves, which is a double layered stencil if you want to use two colors, or it's just the open leaf as well. Now I did play with these previously on my channel, so I'm not doing the same thing, but it's kind of going to look like the same thing, but we're going to do it in a little mixed media book. So this one I recently picked up. I recently picked this one up. This one, I believe, on Amazon. However, I do believe Cherry on Top carries this little size by Arteza. This is a watercolor journal that measures like a 4x6 size, and it's oh so cute. And I simply bought it because I also see a lot of creators like on Instagram or TikTok that use this to do really quick, like little small reels with a like a mixed media background and then a little collage moment in front of it. And so I bought it simply to have a little bit more fun with my supplies. So we're going to use the stencils, we're going to let them dry, and then we're going to ink up the background. And then I'm going to color the animals with a set of watercolors. I do like the animal coloring stamp available. However, I just want to make them truly more brighter. So this one is available on a Cherry on Top. It's a Prima color, 24 colors, and it's pretty bright. It has like, your classic rainbow. So we're going to color them in, which means I'm going to be using archival ink to stamp. And then for the stencils, I am in love with the new neon Lunar paste. So I have most of the colors. I think I'm missing like 2 or 3, but we have the purple one, Charming, Jaded, Limelight. The orange is Mugshot. This one's called Mood Ring, and then Hot Mess is the pink. Okay, so this is our colorway for the stenciling. And then I have Black Widow, which is the Astro paste. So it's black glitter paste to use as well. So I believe let's definitely make a few of the backgrounds and then set them to dry. So we can have it stand and do a few like this and have it dry. And then we will stamp out the animals, paint them in with watercolors, and then cut those out and go from there. Okay, so that's our game plan so far. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started with the leopard print one. Now, when I do this in this little book, because it's in a book, all of these background stencils that I do take time to dry in between each of these sessions. So I did this over the course of like a Saturday. So just keep that in mind. These do not instantly dry. They do take time. So I'm doing an ombre up this like little like bloggy blobby stencil that will have a second overlay image that goes over it to make it look more like the leopard print. So bear with me in the process. So I'm doing a little bit of a ombre up to pink, or like a Roy G. Biv rainbow kind of thing going on here. And so do it this way and be careful of color mixing, simply because I've done it other ways before, because I have played with these colors in the past, and you just got to keep it in mind because sometimes you will make brown and that's not fun. So then this is the first layer, the first layer. Let this dry, and then I go back with the overlay and make sure you have it correctly, because it does match up pretty well. And I'm using the Black Widow Astro paste to go over it to give it the leopard print like markings. And so this whole collection and the way I use it with the neons, this has, and a subscriber had commented on this has a very Lisa Frank vibe. Okay, so I'm here for it. Loving it. So we're taking the zebra striped one, or at least I'm making it zebra. I think it lends itself to tiger or zebra, but I'm doing it with black tie from the Crafters Workshop, and I'm just letting this one dry as is. So where this one's going to be a bold, like just black and white one, but we're going to add some paint splatters in the neon colors afterwards. So now those are dry, right? So now I can flip the page, and now we're going to go on to the next one. So this is like a little 3x4 stamp from All and Create, and I'm just doing a little grungy work. If you have some Tim Holtz stamps, that'll work, or anything that kind of just gives texture. I wanted texture in the background. Now this is Copper Crackle Paste from Prima, and or like Finnabar. Like the Finnabar is the mixed media line from Prima, and I haven't played with this one in a while, and I was definitely using like the giraffe printed pattern of the stencil that came with the zebra striped ones. And then I let this dry, right? I haven't used it, and it looks so zebra-esque, and I like that I grunged up the background. That one turns out really good. You'll see the crackle afterwards, and it's so yummy and good. I need to remember to play with that one more. So then this is the Geo Leaves one. So I'm going in first with the Limelight, like apple green neon paste, and then this will dry. So everything takes time between it. And then I go in with it. The second coat is going to be, it's called Jaded. It's the darker green neon paint. So here's Jaded now. So now that's all dry. So like I said, do take time. Don't rush this process, because if you don't let it dry, then it's going to get all mucky. And the way that all 4 of these turn out is pretty fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the way this is starting so far, and I like that it's like I said, a little kind of a little shyer than a 4x6 little mini notebook. I will leave a similar one linked from Arteza that's available at a cherry on top, and if I could leave the link for the Amazon one, I will do that as well if it's still available. So then this is just scrap paper in my art room. I clearly just cut out a circle in the middle, but the white is good white cardstock from Basil, and I'm using the detailed stamp to stamp out my images. And I initially said I was going to use my watercolors, but I was sitting here when I was doing this part, and in order not to go get a dish with water and some water brushes, paint brushes, I just took the paint brushes and went straight in with Dilution ink, spray inks. And Dilutions too lends itself to being a very bright, vibrant, neon colorway anyway. So I took a bunch of colors that I just have in my stash in the Dilutions line and used them like watercolor. So it's like they're ink, and they didn't like ruin the little inexpensive paintbrushes I had. These were like probably kid ones that I had for Valentina. And I am being loosey-goosey when painting, because I rather have color on the outside of my images when I fussy cut them rather than a white border. So I was fine just kind of painting them, like I said, loosey-goosey. So they went outside the line, and I rather have the color bleed to the end than a white border. So if you saw the previous, so I probably like 3 or 4 videos ago, it was the first time I played with these for a blog onto a cherry on top, and I loved the way they came out. And like I said, someone had commented like it has a very Lisa Frank vibe. And then when the theme this month, when we decided it was animals, I was like, oh, I get to play with the supplies again. And so I put them in a little journal, which changed it up quite a little bit. So I took the time to cut all these out. You don't have to see all that. Let's fast forward. And now it's time to decorate and have some of the sentiments. I'm sorry you see my hair once in a while, but that was me kind of getting the sentiment just right so that it was on the straight edges of certain things. So I use 4 of the sentiments that are also in the stamp sheet, and they all have, I stamped them all on just white cardstock so that they would pop a little bit more. So for this first one, I just cut out with a paper punch, like a 3-inch or 2-inch? No, probably 3-inch punch. The black circle just on classic white black cardstock, and that that kind of, what am I saying, stood out, punched out, stood out. And then I tried it too with this like apple green colored one too. I have like a neon set of cardstock. Didn't like it as much. I like the black much better. And so I am using the Dina Wakley media glue, which I have found works pretty good, especially when you're working on top of like textured backgrounds or just like heavy cardstock on, mixed media backgrounds. I have been impressed with it, so I kind of leave it around, and I'm so glad I bought 2 bottles of that glue because I would be running out of it quite soon because I've been using it, a lot. So that's the Dina Wakley media glue that I've been using, and I thought I was going to use 2 of the leopards or tiger with it, but I just went with this single one, and it worked out quite well. I think because of the size. Before I was doing it on huge big tags, and so the size that it's now, it's smaller Just worked it out better, I think, for that one. So on this one, I did do some splatter of neon pink and like apple green ink from the Dilution line off camera, but it did dry just on the black and white. So when you see the close-up, you'll see the splatter. And this one, I do use the apple green circle. It's still the same 3 inches. And then just using one of the sentiments as well. And I did a little double zebra moment for it. And with the stamp set, I think I was saying, like, I do like the color layer on top. I just wanted to change it up for this project, and I colored them all in. So, you know, to each his own, however you want to play with the animals and make them as vibrant as you want to, or not. Maybe you could have used neutral colors, and that could come out in a different way anyway, especially even for anything I did, you could have used like a neutral color palette, and it would have worked out just well. Just as good. And so that was where I was showing off the crackle paste on there. And then this was just a piece of like almost like wood grain. It was green scrap paper. I tore a piece off, and I'm using that almost like a ground because the giraffes were floating too much on this one. So I just felt like I needed like something to anchor them down. So it became kind of like the floor in this situation. And so I am once again doing one of the sentiments and adding it to kind of like that upper right corner of it. But the crackle paste on this one, this was the one I said with that Finnabar copper crackle paste. Oh, so good. And like, granted, I do have crackle paste from Ranger, but the copper one is just, it's just yummy. It's just yummy. I like the way it turned out. And then for the final one, we're going to use the like lateral looking tigers on the background that I did with the Geo Leaves. So we're going to use the circle punched out on black cardstock once again. And I just like it because it gives some contrast, because sometimes with these bright, busy backgrounds, your images could get lost on it. And I liked that I did this one by accident in grays and purples because it was contrast over the green. The other one I did in green and like a blue turquoise color, so that one kind of blended too much. So yeah, that's why I didn't use both tigers. Oh no, I do go in and use both tigers, but the other one of them just looks like it blended in with the background versus this one that was gray and purple. So both work. And then just for this one, I wanted to round the corners out a little bit just because I felt like, I don't know, the blockiness of it wasn't like jamming with how this one was coming along in order to use both of them. So that was just a last minute decision, and that will finish off the way this one will look too. See, I auditioned out the other ones and I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll just do the double tiger like I did the double giraffe. I auditioned everyone. I was like, oh, this one's purple too, so that could work. I was like, nah. And then this one I was like, no, can I see his feet? No. Like, these are the decisions that go on in my head. Like, no, I don't like it over there. No, I like it over here better. The life of a crafter, right? This is how we come to our final decisions on our crafty projects. It's like the inner monologue of our choices. And then I just, edit it down and have a voiceover, and you can see how my brain works. So everything will link as much as I can down below to make shopping easier for you and everyone else that's in this blog hop. I will also leave links down below so that you can hop along and get tons of inspiration. But this was definitely fun, size to work in, great products to work with as well. I had a fun crafting day. Okay, everyone, I will show you the ones that I have made and completed, and I have a few little animals left to still use. I will put them in my dish, and they will get used at some point. So this little art journal has turned to be quite the nice little project, and I can't wait to still work in here. So for the first one, we have this one, and I do apologize if they seem a little similar to my recent video with my first using of it, but when the theme was just animals, I thought for this hop, I better show them off again. Does this not have like a Lisa Frank vibe? I love it. I love it so much. Okay. This has a Lisa Frank vibe too. And I definitely like the 3 pops of the neon colors, so like the blue, the apple green, and then the hot pink, and then all that splatter really makes it really quite fun. And then this one, yes, the star of the show, the stamping, but that copper crackle paste, like, stop it. Like, I forgot how good this is. That copper crackle, that, I'm in love. That's why that's going to stay on my desk. I'm going to use it again rather quickly. And then my 2 giraffes. And I like that I kind of have their legs all kind of in green. That turned out really nice too. Very serendipity there. And then we have the 2 tigers with this great texture in 2 colors. That's really the star of the show too, is this background. And then just the circle kind of going off the page makes it really fun. And so we did those 3. They could have easily been card fronts. But for me, you know, in that video, I did them as tags before. So that was like, if you saw that video, that was like this one. And I'm not a card maker yet. So that's why I decided to now just kind of start a little book worth of them, and I think that'll be really fun. So I will leave everyone else that's in this hop linked down below. There's probably tons of inspiration for you, all in the theme of animals, so hop along. And I will leave the stamp sets and the stencils that I use in the description box down below too, in case you are interested in picking up any of the supplies I used today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Give this video a thumbs up. It always helps my channel. And remember to leave a comment. That way you have a chance to win a $25 gift card to a Cherry on Top. Thank you so much. Till next time.